if I were doing the song from The Joshua Tree by U2, 1987, kids, and I were singing the song about PLS, I would say, I can live with or without you, but there would be a whole verse about, but I would really prefer without. 4 symptoms of this insane condition I want to describe. Got a lot of props here. Okay. Spasticity, hypersensitivity, slowness, PBA. Spasticity. So imagine that you have 3 different bungee cords tied around different parts of your legs, and your friend Denise is over there, and your friend Renee is over there, and Charlie is behind you, and they are each holding the other end of the bungee cords wrapped around your legs. And it's as though, when you're trying to walk, it's as though they're all messing with you and tugging erratically at the bungee cords around your legs. So to achieve, and it really is like, it feels kind of funny. It feels like somebody's just fucking with you. It's one of those like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding. This cannot be how walking is. It feels like somebody is messing with you. It's dynamic in a bad way. You want resistance to be static. You want it to be the same force that your muscles, I want it to be, you might be into this, but I would like it to be the same force that I'm working against, that my muscles learn to overcome. And instead, it's so dynamic, and the nature of it is that I think I need to lift and push forward with a certain amount of force with my left leg, and sometimes there's not as much resistance, so I get this like really herky-jerky movement. Plus, my balance isn't good to start with, so I can knock myself over just trying to walk. It's so stupid. All right, I could go on forever about spasticity. That's just a short version of it. Okay, next one, hypersensitivity. I'm like a cartoon. So this can be with almost every kind of sensory input, but especially sound and touch. I am so sensitive. I'll give you an example from the other morning. My wife got up at 5-ish when both kids got up and allowed me to sort of linger in sleep limbo. And we have hardwood floors, and one of the kids dropped a large, heavy, I think it was the plastic cash register from the 70s, kind of a large, heavy plastic item onto the wood floor. Now, it was a couple rooms away. I'm lying in sort of a fetal position in bed. This sound was like a gunshot going through my body, and I went from curled up like this to bent the other way, like, whoa! It was reflexive. It wasn't a controlled, I couldn't control the start or the finish of it, and it happened the second the sound happened. It was so ridiculous. Happens with sounds all the time. Living with toddlers, there is no shortage of loud sound input. Somebody coming in the room and just talking at a normal level, if I don't know they're there, this is a sight thing. If I just turn around and see something or someone I'm not expecting, I will jump. It'll be a leap. And touch is crazy. So stepping on something of an unexpected texture, like a green bean on the floor, a Lego on the floor, a piece of dry cereal on the floor, my foot stepping on that sends lightning bolts through that leg, and the lightning bolts then cause the muscles to sort of go slack, and I'm kind of used to the feeling now, and I've developed an ability to sort of catch myself before I drop. But the first few months this happened to me, I would step on a green bean or a piece of cereal and drop. Terrible. And Legos there's a whole thing coming about a Lego. Not good. Also, something dropping on my feet, it can be something that weighs a lot or a little, causes my legs to go slack and me to just drop to the floor. It is so absurd, and I think so many times, if you just saw the stuff, the video of this with no sound, you would laugh. The fall in the grocery store I talked about, and the Kroger, this guy just barely grazed me with his little trolley that he had cardboard boxes on. Just grazed the back of my calf, and I dropped to the floor. It's so ridiculous. It's causes so many cartoon falls and big jump reactions, sometimes with an uncontrolled vocal. It's so stupid. Okay, slowness. That's as fast as it goes. So we get workups. I get workups all the time at doctors. They're checking to see how different things are, and one of the things is tapping and moving different hands and feet. And I used to drum all the time, like, and I can't. That's as fast as that fucking hand goes. And same for both the feet. I used to be a little, my feet can't do it anymore. And I sit there, they ask me to perform these actions, and I say out loud, like, that's as fast as it goes. I can't believe that's as fast as it goes. And it is called slowness. Originally, I thought I had, I'll do a whole thing about this, Parkinson's, and they referred to it as bradykinesia, which sounds kind of sexy. But this is just slowness. It doesn't get progressively more slow as I keep doing it. It just stays slow. And I cannot consciously go faster than X speed trying to do repetitive motions. It's so lame and frustrating. Okay, now you've already noticed this. Here's the last one for today. That's a bit much. PBA. It stands for pseudo-bulbar affect. And a neuropsychiatrist I saw, which is a specific kind of psychiatrist that the clinic has, who does quick consults with neuro patients for mood support or other kinds of psychiatry medication they might need. She had this response, and then my new neuro, when I met her, had this response like 30 seconds into meeting me. They're like, oh yeah, you've got PPA going on for sure. Pseudobulbar, I think that's BULBAR, affect, AFFECT. Now, when I think of somebody with an affect, I think they're putting it on. So I think that word is unfair, because I am sure as fuck not putting it on. I really wish I could control it. So this is what it is, right? You've seen this. I look like I'm laughing or about to laugh, like somebody just told me a secret about you, and I'm looking at you, and it's like I can't stop thinking about it, and I'm gonna giggle. I just have this going on all the time. And in my notes from meeting my most recent neuro, she writes the sentence, easily amused. And if you've known me over the years, you would describe me that way anyway. I was always very prone to laughing fits, and I get tickled, and I imagine something that's very funny, or I try to tell certain stories and I get tickled, and you just have to wait because I'm laughing so hard. So I was already on the spectrum of this, and now it is so ridiculous. So it can go either way. It can go towards laughing or crying easily. And there are a lot of folks I'm connected with who refer to sobbing uncontrollably a lot. And it can become, currently for me, I laugh or cry very easily, but it tends to happen in appropriate moments. Like I already think something is funny if I'm really gonna laugh, or something is genuinely touching to me and I will cry. And other folks who have more extreme versions of this will start laughing or crying at inappropriate times. So it can be socially devastating. I'm going to exploit myself here and try to give you an example. I'm going to try to tell two different quick sketches of stories. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but you'll see a flash of each one of these. So I'm going to start with the crying version. I can't get through, just thinking about it, it's happening. I can't get through telling this without being emotional, but I'm just going to share this. So first time I got a cane, I got the cane to go to a concert. I had been to one concert at a big arena, and I was so scared I was gonna fall. I knew everybody thought I was on something because I was so unstable. And I was gonna be going to another concert with my brother in Asheville, and my brother-in-law actually, in a very sweet way, asked about a cane and said, you know, sometimes it can be not just for you, but to help other people know you might need a little space. And I was like, that was the level of justification I could accept in that moment. I don't need the cane to walk, but, you know, for other people, I'm good with that. And this is a long show. It's like 8 hours, so there's going to be a lot of getting up and walking around. And everybody else is on something, so it's a big fall risk. So I get a cane, and My brother is great, trying to help clear the way for me with people. But I do see even very inebriated 20-year-olds would see my cane and see how I was walking and sort of drop their persona and be like, oh shit, and like clear out their friends, like give this guy some space. And what I really came to feel about the cane is so it's happening that it gives people a chance to be the best version of themselves. Even jerky frat boy was awesome. And I know their parents would have been so proud. So that's a cool thing about a cane, which is not, I never considered what's cool about having a cane. There it is. So you saw that happen. It became longer than I wanted to. I get into that story. Okay, so the other one. This is the moment. See, I'm just thinking about it, and this is happening. This is a moment in a play, okay? It's a fictional story of a southern town in the early 20th century, and no historical names, no familiar names that you would recognize are in the play, referred to in the play, in the world of the play at all. And this actor, he knows that for 10 years I have celebrated this version of the line that came out one night. And we've all done it. We've all misspoken or transposed words on stage. It happens. And this happened to be at a preview, and I was sitting there next to my wonderful partner in crime with the show, and we were watching the preview together, and the actor's actual line was, Bill, he killed Harold Kelly. Bill, he killed Harold Kelly. He's trying to basically say to someone, there's no limit to what this guy will do. Bill, he killed Harold Kelly. And instead, what this actor said was, Bill, he murdered Helen. Bill, he murdered Helen Keller. He said, Bill, he murdered Helen Keller. And in the moment, my friend and I turned to each other like, is that real? I'm so glad someone else was here to witness this incredible moment in the American theater. I think of it all the time and start giggling. I love imagining what was going through the heads of the people in the audience. Jesus, that is a really what a terrible person. I don't remember hearing that someone murdered Helen Keller. How sad. Geez, I get it. This is a really bad guy. That is PBA. There is your cane story. with the crying in your Helen Keller story, with the laughing, those are 4 symptoms I could live with or without, but would really prefer without.